Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm the Average Fan and today I will be listening to All Killer, No Filler by Sum 41. So I already started a couple weeks ago with the re-listenings of the whole Blink-182 discography, and I thought with the return of Sum 41 with their new double album, it's time to re-listen to some of their albums, maybe even the whole discography. I know this is technically not their first album, but this is the first album in my life that had an impact on my life. I don't know if I even know the first real album, if I ever listened to it. Half Hour of Power. No, I don't think I have ever listened to this. The funny thing is, on this album is the song Summer, which is also on All Killer, No Filler. The album is produced by Jerry Finn, great producer. He did a lot of stuff. He did all the Blink, all the great Blink albums, Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and the Untitled album. Unfortunately, he passed away way too soon. So his great productions are no longer around. But let's dive into All Killer, No Filler. And if you don't want to miss any re-listenings of mine, then you should consider subscribing and maybe leave a comment of what should I listen to next. But let's go. The introduction to Destruction. Let's go.
Children of the beast embrace, to scorn and hate the human.
Albums today, do they have intros still? I don't think so.
Giving birth to a group that will appear and guide you through this final year.
Let's go.
The dark
Nothing on my back.
will come when the song is 41.
Oh yeah. Now, such a nice riff. Oh man, the production is great. Let's see. Jerry Finn. I have to admit, when I was younger, I loved this album. Yeah, still back then and today, I noticed the drummer, his playing isn't on point as Trevor's drumming or of the things he is playing, like the creative wise. But still pretty cool, man. And the other day I talked to my best friend and we were like, the band that is closest kind of to Blink-182 is somehow Sum 41, although they aren't that similar besides this album. But somehow I see them, when I think of bands, they're pretty like next to each other. Maybe it's the number and the name and kind of Derek's voice. Oh man, back. Oh. A little back pain here. Nothing on my back. There's something on my back. Yeah, maybe it's the unique voice of Derek and Tom that are kind of similar. Of course, they are totally different, but they are that special when you compare it to Mark or to, I don't know, the of Green Day. The name is gone. But yeah, the singer of Green Day. Of course, you can recognize the singer. But their voices aren't that unique to me, like high-pitched sounding. And I love the raspiness in Tom's and Derek's voice. Nice part here. Let's switch to lyrics. I have to admit, I haven't listened to this album in quite a while, so this is very exciting and cool. Nice start. Never wake up. This is pretty fast. I don't have any plan of lyrics because I found out about this album when I was very young and my English was very bad back then. So I just got a couple of words, especially when it's that fast. And here we go. Oh yeah. Still one of the best riffs in pop punk. Awesome, man.
Just my own house party cause nobody came.
Man, I love Jerry's productions. I mean, back then I knew that the productions were kind of good, but I had no idea that when he is gone, it's very hard to find an organic, natural sounding production like this. Is that really that hard? Why are there so few people out there? I love the stereo. So few people out there that can deliver a great production like this, or at least close.
I don't wanna waste my time.
I always thought this change was very crazy,
Don't count on me to let you know when.
but pretty dope. Actually, to do that kind of stuff. Who is doing stuff like that today? I haven't heard something like this in forever.
Not me, cause I'm not listening.
And great, just right in. Hook!
I don't wanna waste my time. Casualty,
This song is just a vibe.
casualty of society.
Great harmonies there. What I love about Sum 41 and Derek, his voice has nearly completely stayed the same. That's pretty cool. I have to say, I haven't listened to the complete album in a while, but from time to time I always put like some of the songs into my playlist when I'm feeling the old school pop punk vibe again. It's always like Nothing on My Back or Rhythms or other songs that are will come soon. If you don't know me, I'm German, and sometimes the words are not there. I think from all the classic pop punk or punk bands that are around, like Green Day, Blink, Sum 41, what else? So Goldfinger. I think there was a very particular time period in my life that I enjoyed, especially Sum 41 very much. All Killer No Filler, of course, at first, and then some friend of mine back then said I should buy Chuck, the Chuck album, which I did. And at first I was like, what is that? That's totally different from what I know. But as the emo time back then continued, yeah, I don't know, this album kind of grew on me. It was very special. Nice part. I love the dynamics. And I bet Jerry had his influence on those kind of parts, because you can hear that on Blink too. Like, let it sink in there, put a part like this in there and that, do that. Yeah, he was good at arranging stuff. I love the harmonies. The album is actually pretty short. I think it's about half an hour or so. Let me check this out. Yeah, like 32 minutes and 19 seconds. Crazy ending. I love that there are things like that in the songs that you don't see them coming, like the end. Nice song. I love the kind of power chord riffs, like melody. So simple, but still recognizable.
Motivation, such an aggravation. Accusations, don't know how to take them.
Motivation is definitely a song that I listen to a lot. Just adjust the camera a little bit. All right, I'm sinking in my chair, so soon you will just see a head.
Accusations, don't know how to take them.
Man, his voice is so unique. Maybe it's just me, but I like higher voices more. I always did.
Nothing's gonna change my mind.
Nice. Yeah, when I think of it, the first music I fall for was Michael Jackson. His voice is definitely on the higher side, although his range was insane from low to high. Oh yeah, I like that. And all these little breaks. Oh man, this is so great.
Aggravation, such an aggravation. Accusations, don't know how to take.
I bet all of this was Jerry's work. But back to the higher vocals. Yeah, I enjoyed Michael Jackson. I kind of enjoyed Through My Parents, Simply Red, if you know it. Also a higher voice. And then in my youth, of course, The Offspring, definitely a high voice. Blink because of Tom, and the contrast between Mark and him, that was cool. Sum 41. And yeah, I listened to Green Day, but I did not enjoy it that much. Oh man, I like this stereo thing. There's two riffs actually. I had to figure them out when I was doing my acoustic cover of it, which by the way was very well received by the community. Very cool. One guitar is playing completely different things than the other guitar. Maybe I find a way to show it to you. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot think of any other higher vocal performer. I found out that this was kind of my preference.
It's one thing to complain, but when you're driving me insane, well then I think it's time that we took a break. It's closer than it is too far.
When I did the acoustic cover, I did it like 1.5 notes lower, like the guitar tuning, because it's pretty high. Derek has a very high voice. I think higher voices are more characteristic, kind of. I mean, when you compare it to instruments, higher instruments are more standing out to you and are more characteristic. When you, in not a lot of cases, you say, man, that bass tone is so characteristic. No, you maybe say, that guitar tone is characteristic, or man, listen to that violin. That's just my opinion, but yeah. Nice guitar there for a chorus. Not just simple chord changes. I like that. And I like that they changed it at the end. Great note there. That guitar coming in. And then going from the cymbal back to the hi-hat is pretty awesome. And one guitar, I think, is just playing. Awesome. Classic. Nice. Back then I always said, this sounds so much like Blink, because it are the Blink notes. But you can hear in the playing of the drummer that it's definitely not a Blink song. That's crazy that you can kind of hear that another person is playing. Today everything is like triggered and quantized. There is the drummer recording the drums, but after that in the DAW they are switching it up totally, like changing up the sound, changing the quantizing everything like perfect in time. Why even record it then, man? I love the rawness of the productions in the 2000s, although they were pretty clean and everything. But it's just a great mix, but it has naturality to it. Wow, the first whoa. Was that John Feldman? Back then when the whoas weren't overused.
It's not in what you do, more in what you say. What you do.
The artwork, by the way. I have it here as a CD, by the way. All this stuff from back then I definitely got on CD, man. Although I don't know, the CD for me has kind of lost its charm, or it's not necessary anymore, because the CD is like, from the experience, too close to streaming, because I put it in and then I don't see it, I can skip, I can like, and when I put on a vinyl, I normally with a mindset put it on that I'm like, yeah, let's listen to the full album, because skipping is like, you can skip, but it's uncomfortable. You like have to stand up, you have to put the arm on another part of the vinyl, and that's just not what you do. Not what you do. So I have all these CDs from back then, but if it's on the streaming service, I will listen here on my computer, on my Neumann speakers, monitor speakers, because it sounds so good. And when I put in a CD, in 99 of 100 cases, I won't be able to hear a difference. There are cases where I find out that the CD sounds better, but there are so few cases. So yeah, why should I put in the CD? Because I think this is because on all the streaming services or on Spotify, you don't know what the source of the material is. Sometimes it sounds okay, but it could be an MP3, a bad MP3, or I don't know. Sometimes the CD just sounds better. Same things with vinyls. I did some comparisons here, switching from vinyl to Spotify. It was very hard to figure it out, actually. I think this is all more like, is it called esotericism or esoteric? Yeah, to me it's like a myth. Of course, on paper it is better, whatever, but MP3 has come a long way, and back then it sounded very bad, but today it just sounds pretty good. There's a blind test. If I remember it, I can link it to you in the description. It's a website. Always when you refresh it, it changes up the order of the songs, so you cannot remember, oh, this is the wave. Like, no, it's always a different, yeah. It's pretty cool test and very hard to get it right. Sometimes I thought, oh, this is the wave, and that was like the worst MP3. Oh my god. First coffee of the day. That song is fine. Definitely. There's no filler on this album, I think, but it's still more of a balladish song, which is fine because up until now there were all bangers. So this is like a perfect fit, I think. Nice open ending. I haven't said much about the song, but yeah, it's just a solid one. That's one of definitely my favorites ever of Sum 41. Only vocals and the guitar. The first switch in the chords. Love it. And another different chord progression. I love it. So many different parts. I miss that. Everything today is just 2 verse, bridge, chorus, verse 2, no bridge, just chorus 2, C part. It's changing more in these older productions. I really want to know if the people, musicians wrote differently, or if this all was like the producer's work, like Jerry Finn. This all is way more punk, like changing it up from all the time. And when I re-listen some Offspring stuff, there are some gems songwriting-wise. They had their own style back then in the early 90s. Wow! 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 Oh no. Wow. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss me listening to The Offspring and commenting on that. Can't you see that's the truth? Can't stay. Won't you see that's the truth? Nice one. One of my favorites.
It's also awesome.
And it's also pretty cool that the songs aren't that long. My girlfriend just brought me breakfast. Awesome! He's God. So sorry for me eating, but I haven't had breakfast. Nice bass tone, man. The bass in the composition isn't standing out that much, so I haven't heard the bass standing alone up until now, but the bass tone is great. Oh man, and I love of these older productions that you are really able to hear all the instruments. I mean, the bass is always kind of hard to hear, but it gives everything the richness, and I can hear the guitars bang in your ears, man. They're totally left and right. I know there are a lot of pop-punk bands, and I'm aware of all them, but no one of those newer bands sounds like back then the style of pop-punk. Isn't that crazy? Nice clean riff. Oh yeah, the bass tone is awesome. I remember on some quieter parts I was able to listen to the bass before, yeah. On Motivation, I think. That's like a little recycled melody. That change. Like to distort it and shuffle. That random shuffle thing is also kind of some 41-ish. Bass is clearly here. Knowing endless consequences. Yeah, nice change. I think I haven't listened to that song that often when I'm comparing it to all the other songs. That's maybe because it's pretty at the end of the album. That's some funny thing with me and listening to albums. Maybe it's not just me. The songs that are at the end of the album, I always know the least because, of course, I start listening to an album and then something happens and I have to pause or have to quit. And yeah, so I haven't listened to the end songs of the album that much then compared to the earlier songs. All right. So here's the last one. Pain for Pleasure. Short one. And one of the different Sum 41 style is like teased. Oh, the bass one. Yeah, nice notes. Oh man, what a nice composition there. Here we have the metal influence, I think, of the guitar player. I think it was like one of them wanted to go more metal and one wanted to go the pop punk vibe. That's what, at least of what I've heard. I think I have never listened to that song really. I know the intro, but yeah. This is really like, come on, do your thing for the last track of the album. Do your metal thing there. Your 80s metal thing. But nice chorus. Reminds me of some other bands. Yes, and that was All Killer, No Filler. Really short album. It's still pretty cool. Let's check out what was the next album they released. Does this look infected? I think I will do this album for sure. It's also just a half an hour. This is maybe even my favorite album from like the uniqueness of it, because I like how they like connected the pop punk style with like something more raw punk and some metal influences. So that's really cool. I think I'm gonna do that if you guys enjoyed an album re-listening like this, even if it's not Blink. I thought maybe you enjoyed that too. Let me know in the comments of what album should I listen to next. Are there some albums I'm missing? Just write a comment, leave a like. You will support my channel with that. If you're interested in more re-listenings, you can check out my playlist here of the Blink-182 re-listenings. And for today, that's it. I'm the Average Fan and I'm out of here. See you in the next one.